We are about 2 minutes away from the closing bell. The NASDAQ managing to put itself back on track to close higher for an 8th straight month, snapping its 2-day losing streak. Investors are going to keep an eye on tech, right, during these final 2 days of trade this week. My next guest says now is the time to buy tech, even if you think some players are expensive. He says they're cheap. Chief Investment Officer of Alger, Dan Chung. You're also the CEO. Don't want to just demote you for a moment there. Dan, why buy tech? Some of it is overpriced, some of it is not.
Well, I think, when we look at companies like Apple and Google and Facebook, we see some very special companies in terms of the global audiences they reach. And as stocks, while the stocks have run, their fundamentals have kept up with the growth. And they're really quite inexpensively priced towards their growth, especially if people are worried that we're reaching new highs in the market. But this is not like 1999. These are not at bubble prices. And these companies are quite special in the growth rates and also the size of the audiences that they reach.
Look, if large cap tech like Netflix and Amazon and Alphabet still continue to roar, what do you say to investors who are a little wary of the FANG stocks, would like to see other stocks come along and buy them at less expensive prices, say mid-cap tech?
Well, I would say it's a great way to think about the markets. I mean, there are opportunities always in the markets, and there are some places that are not as, if you will, picked over by investors. We in particular do like smaller and mid-cap stocks. We're fundamental investors at Alger, so we're well versed in them. And we're often looking for things that are in strong trends. So, for example, medical technology that improves the delivery or care, technology that improves consumers' lives or reduces costs for them, and companies that play, generally into strong trends around the American consumer, the internet, and e-commerce.
Dan, it's great to see you. Dan Chung is the CEO of Alger, a giant in the industry. And as we bump up against the closing bell, Dow Jones Industrials up about 135 points off the highs, but a good gain of about 2/3%. The Russell, a big gain of 1.5% for the small caps.